shrine. You want the shrine to give you a prediction or something like that, well, you got to pay. They're not going to do it for nothing. So there's an upkeep involved in this kind of thing. So it was important to control the shrine at Mecca, where the tribes did come. There were several gods and goddesses. I think Nicholson enumerates them. Perhaps Lewis does too. I think they were called Almanat, Alat, and Aluza. I don't know all the symbolism of these various polytheistic, non-monotheistic gods that were in the Kaaba at that time. But in any case, the tribe that claimed control of the Kaaba were the Quraysh. So the Kaaba at Mecca was an important religious shrine. Basically, it was observed during the pilgrimage months when the truces existed in the caravan trade. And of course, the people who controlled the shrine probably were involved in the caravan trade too. Everyone would try to have some part of this income if they could. So the caravans moved during the truce periods. That was good. The rest of the people maybe went and visited shrines and things. Or just sat at home, watched TV or whatever. The equivalent of TV. No raiding at that time. In any event, Quraysh were the custodians of the Kaaba in theory. Now the Quraysh are considered to be the Prophet's tribe. The Prophet comes from one of the branches of the Quraysh tribe. Actually, not the principal branch, a lesser branch, which may explain his, not outcast status, but the fact that he had to scratch more for a living than someone who would be in one of the principal clans. He had to get out there and work, even though he was from an important tribe, but he wasn't the principal clans of that important tribe. Now, that important tribe, the principal clans and its leadership, ran the city of Mecca such as it was. Can't tell you how big it was, but Mecca is the perfect place for an Arabian prophet to come from. He has all the right credentials, except he wasn't from the principal clan. Mecca is an independent entity. It's not under northern control from Syria and Iraq, which some of the northern, as we'll see when we study the poetry, kingdoms were. Some of the poets who come from these northern buffer kingdoms and then on the Syrian-Iraq border were under the control of more powerful governments further north and east. It wasn't under the control of the Byzantines. The Ethiopians failed to take it in the Abraha campaign, according to our sources. So it's perfect. It's an independent city-state, you might call it, although I don't know how big a city-state you'd say it was. And then, as well, the Quraysh are the central religious tribal group that deals with shrine management and so on. So he comes from totally independent Arab area and from the tribe that is the religious custodian of that particular precinct and area. I mean, how much better situated could you be? That's about as well situated as you can be to be a charismatic leader of the people who are coming and going through those areas. If he came from some desert encampment out in Nowheresville, he could have a probably more difficult time achieving the success that he was able to achieve in his lifetime. It wouldn't be such a simple matter, perhaps, to come from an outlying area and a tribal group of not very much prestige or as well connected as the Quraysh. Is that point appreciated? Okay? So I think that's perfect for an Arabian prophet to come from Mecca. What's the only disadvantage he really has? That his tribe, that his clan is not the principal Meccan, that is not the principal Quraysh clan. It's a secondary Quraysh clan. And that he's always complaining about and he's always having trouble about, and that is a big issue. That's the only really disadvantage that he suffers under to achieve the things that he wants to achieve. His conflict with the Meccan leaders that is the principal leaders of the clans within the Quraysh tribe. You know, tribes usually have clans which are connected to each other, you know, loosely connected to each other, lesser tribes, and then clans have septs, you know, a smaller division of the clan centering around your immediate family would be what we would call a sept, S-E-P-T if you want to call it, if you want to write that. I can't name you all of the different clans, but one of the Prophet's clan were the Banu Hashim.